Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Professor Hassan and you are watching my channel Professor Hassan Hamayu. After 8 days, Punjab Public Service Commission will conduct a written test for the post of lecturer statistics. I, being a professor of statistics, advise all the students that they should work very hard for these precious days. Dear students, dear statisticians, today I will discuss a very important topic of experimental design. Before starting today's vital lecture, I request everyone, don't miss a single MCQ, a single concept of that test. Let's start. First of all, I will tell you what is a treatment. Dear students, the thing whose effect we are going to check on the experimental unit, it is called a treatment. For example, if I say we have some fertilizers, these are urea, DAP, phosphate and potash. These all four fertilizers are our treatments. And then if I talk about the medicine is given to the patients, to the persons who are sick. These are actually the treatments. We are going to check the effect of medicine on the persons who are sick, and we are going to check the effect of urea, DAP, potash and phosphate and etc. on the experimental unit. These all are the treatments. Now I will tell you what is experimental unit. It is a place on which we are going to check the effect of the treatment. It can be human beings. If someone is sick and we want to check the medicine's effect on human beings, that medicine will be a treatment and human beings will be the experimental units. If we want to check the effect of urea, DAP, phosphate, all the fertilizers on the fields of land, these will be called the experimental units. If we have cows and buffaloes, and we want to check the effect of a medicine on these cows and buffaloes, then cows and buffaloes will be experimental units. And now I will tell you what is experimental design. Actually, it is a plan which we make to check the effect of the treatments, which I tell you, it can be fertilizer, it can be medicine on the experimental units like human beings, cows and buffaloes. That is experimental design. Then there are two main objectives of experimental design. Actually, number one is we want to get the maximum information with the minimum expenditures and minimum time, a very important one. And second is actually we want to avoid the systematic error, a very important one. And what is systematic error? Whenever we apply the treatment on the experimental unit with our personal judgment. If there are 12 plots of land and I apply urea on the land to check its effect with my personal judgment, then it will produce systematic error. There are two types of designs. Number one is randomized designs. Number two is systematic designs. Whenever there is no involvement of randomization, then that design will be called systematic design. And whenever there is randomization in applying the treatment on the experimental units, then that design will be called randomized designs. And in randomized we have three categories: completely randomized design, randomized complete block design and Latin square design. Now, the principles of experimental design, a very important question. Number one is randomization. Number two is replication. Number three is local control. Actually, when we apply the treatment, when we apply the medicine on the patients randomly, it is called randomization. It will remove the human bias. It will remove bias and it will remove extraneous variation. And if I talk about replication, actually when we apply the treatment randomly on the experimental units, it is called one replicate. If I repeat that process, actually replication is the repetition of the random process of applying the treatments on the experimental units. For example, if I have 3 treatments, DAP, urea and phosphate, and I have 12 fields, I apply the treatments randomly. It is randomization. If I apply again second time after 3 months, after 4 months randomly, it is called replication. The repetition of the random process of applying the treatments on the experimental unit, and that will decrease experimental error. And what is experimental error? The difference between the effect of, actually the production of, the effect of that treatment on the experimental units. I will tell you one more example. For example, if I apply urea in a field and it will give you the production of wheat, for example 35 mands per acre, and I repeat that process and I apply randomly again, and in the second plot it is applied and it gives you 35.5 mands, and I repeat that process again and there is a land on which I applied that fertilizer and that will give you 36 mands per acre. So what is the benefit of repetition? It will reduce the experimental error, the difference between the effect of that treatment on the experimental unit, and it will increase the efficiency. Replication is used for increasing the efficiency of the experimental design and decreasing the experimental error. And then the third one is local control. That word is telling us it controls the sources of extraneous variations, and it is used for balancing, for blocking. Whenever we have the heterogeneous population, we know in the fields all the lands are not equal, are not identical in fertility. Then what do? We make its blocks. For example, block number 1, block number 2, block number 3, block number 4. It is the land of all the blocks of all the fields which is very fertilized, which is very good. It has more fertility as compared to these 3 blocks. It is the block, and there is homogeneity within the blocks. It is called within, it is called between. A very important MCQ. Whenever in local control we make the blocks, there should be homogeneity, less variation within the block, and there should be much variation between the blocks. So what is the purpose of local control? It is used for balancing, it is used for blocking. Whenever there is much variation in the data, we make its homogeneous groups called blocks, and it controls the extraneous sources of variation. And like repetition and the combined work, the function is that it increases the efficiency by reducing the experimental error, a very important one. Then the first one is, first randomized design is completely randomized design. Its word is telling us completely randomized. Whenever we apply the treatments on the experimental units, the treatments can be fertilizers, the treatments can be sowing seed, the treatments can be medicine, the treatment can be anything whose effect we are going to check. When we apply randomly, it is called completely randomized. First point is we apply the treatments randomly. Second point is that no restriction. Please keep in mind, CR design has no restriction. Number 3, it can be applied, the number of treatments can be applied for equal or non-equal replication. And number 4 is very important, its layout. I will have to tell you. For example, we have some plots. We apply randomly, there is no restriction. For example, first fertilizer is applied over here, then B randomly, then C, then A again, then B, C, C again, then A, C, B, A, C. You can see the repetition over here. A is applied 2 times, there is no restriction. B is applied 2 times in the column also, it has no restriction. We apply the treatments randomly on the experimental units and there is no restriction in CR design. And it is used, CR design is used, number 5, when we have homogeneous population, homogeneous experimental units. Whenever there is not much variation, there is no need to make the blocks, then we use the completely randomized design. Now a very important question, it can solve many multiple choice questions for you, numerical as well as theoretical. The table, ANOVA table, source of variation, you have treatment, you have error, you have total. The degree of freedom for treatment will be K minus 1. For example, there are 5 treatments, K is 5, then that will be 5 minus 1, which is 4. If there are 20 observations, it is N, then the degree of freedom for total will be N minus 1. 20 minus 1 is 19. Then error degree of freedom will be N minus K, and 20 minus 5 will be 15. And F will be equal to S square T over S square E, and it will be compared with the F alpha, V1, V2, and V1 will be K minus 1 and V2 will be the degree of freedom of the error, it is N minus K. All questions are very important for the paper. A very important question. The CR design provides maximum degree of freedom for the error sum of squares. Next question, any number of treatments can be used in CR design. Next, CR design is applicable to a small number of treatments. Now I will tell you about RCBD. Randomized complete block design. Number 1, it has one-way restriction. Number 2, we make the blocks when we have, it is used when we have heterogeneity. When there is much variation in the experimental units, we use the blocking, we use randomized complete block design. Number 3, it is used for equal replication, not for unequal like the CRD. Number 3, a very important point, each treatment must be applied randomly. In each block. I will tell you by making the just table of this much. For example, in our house there is a plot of 5 marla, and we know that the land is not same for all the aspects. We make its 5 blocks. For example, B1, B2, B3, B4 and B5, and we have 4 treatments which we want to apply on this much. We will have to make the 4 boxes over here, 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is very important point. I apply the first treatment randomly, it is C. Then apply randomly again, it is B. Then apply randomly again, it is D. Then apply randomly again, it is A. Then there should not be the repetition within the block. It is the meaning of that point. In RCBD, each treatment is applied randomly in each block. There should not be repetition. It is called one source of variation. For example, D, C, B. I can never write B, C or D over here. It will be A. Then C, D, B. For example, A. No repetition. D, B. Randomly I am applying A. That must be C. For example, it is D. It is A. It is C, that must be B. There can be repetition in this much. It is not controlling that one. It is controlling one way. In every block, every type of treatment must be applied. That is the quality of RCBT. It is used for equal replication. It is used whenever the population, the experimental units are heterogeneous. We make the blocks. It is used whenever it controls actually one source of variation. Next is very important. I will tell you it's ANOVA table also. Source of variation. We have treatment. We have block. We have error. We have total. Please learn all these points. These are important for the paper. For treatment, degree of freedom will be K-1 like CR. For block, it is B-1 or it can be R-1. For total, it will be RK-1 and for error, it will be K-1 into R-1. And what about F? There will be two F values. F1 is S square T over S square E, and the value which will be calculated from the table, that will be F alpha V1 V2. This is the degree of freedom of treatment, K-1, and that will be the error, K-1 into R-1. If I talk about F2, that will be S square B block over S square E, and that will contain the degree of freedom of the block, that will be B-1 or R-1, number of blocks -1, and that will be the same, K-1 into R-1. All questions are very, very important. Next question is, in CRD, a very important question, there is no importance of missing observations. We eliminate the missing observations. It is not calculated, but in randomized complete block design, we calculate the missing observation also. I will tell you the formula. In RCBT, there is importance of missing observations. Next is, RCBT is not suitable when the number of treatments is very large. In RCBT, the formula for finding the missing observation is X is equal to R capital B plus K capital T minus G over K-1 into R-1. Dear students, in the paper they can ask the numerical also. For finding the missing observation, this is the formula. R is the number of rows and B is the total of the row, total of the block in which there is missing value. Except missing value, the sum of, for example, it is B1. It has some observations. It is not given. It is 10, it is 20, it is 30. Then what will be B? The sum of these values excluding this observation. It will be capital B. And K is the number of treatments and T is the sum of the treatment values of that one in which there is missing value. G is the grand total. You will calculate the missing observation. If two or more values are missing, we follow the procedure given by Yates. Next, RCBT is more efficient than completely randomized design. Next is Latin scale design. Number 1, Latin scale design controls two sources of variation. It decreases experimental error, increases the efficiency of the design, and a very important point in Latin scale design, the degree of freedom, the number of treatments equal to number of blocks, rows you can say, and it is equal to the number of columns. A very important question.